So as retro game prices get higher and higher, people are looking for alternative ways to play their retro games. Now, of course, many people just use ROMs and emulators on their computers. They buy these little devices that have a bunch of games built into it, but some people like to play it on actual hardware. So I went over to Amazon and I was surprised to see that there's a lot of counterfeit Nintendo games on there. There's different systems, different platforms, reproductions, multi-carts, even with Prime shipping. So it's like, well, I could get these games really fast and at a cheap price, but are these games any good? Are they worth checking out? I picked up a couple different games here, different types, different varieties, so we're going to take a look at them in today's video. Hope you guys enjoy this. If this is your first time on the channel, hit that subscribe button, like, and share the video. But without any further ado, let's look at the fake Nintendo games I bought. Alrighty, so like I said here, we have a couple different games here. I have a Super Nintendo cartridge because one of these games is a Super Nintendo. And this is actually the first one we're going to look at because this is the most common thing, which is a Super 180 in 1 game compilation. Now, what's funny about this is it did not have a listing for any of the games that were going to be in here. So I have no idea what's going to be on here. Looks like there's Pool and Firepower, Aerobiz, Prince of Persia. I don't really know what that is. Flipping the cart over, we can see that this is the Classic Edition Super Classic Game Consoles new. So that's how we know this is something proper. This is actually an unboxing of these as well. How in the hell do you open this? Oh, maybe from the top? I have no idea. But these are all, this is the first time I'm opening them. I saved them specifically for this. I will say this little cartridge holder is nice. I might use that for a more expensive game. Taking a look at it here. Nice gold plating, you know. I guess that's nice. Comparing it to a actual Super Nintendo game, you know, it looks pretty similar. Obviously, this is a line in the center of it. This cartridge doesn't have it. On the back of the cartridge, we don't have the Nintendo seal of quality down here. Different instructions. You know, it obviously looks different. And when it comes to repros and things of that nature, that's what I like to see. I like to see differentiating marks because I do still respect, you know, the whole thing of collecting retro games and whatnot. Maybe I'm just not super into it right now, but you know, it's a decent looking cartridge here. Battery save, which is always nice. I have no idea what's on here though, so we're gonna actually check that out together and see what games are on this. All right, so here is our non-classical 180 in 1. I thought it was called Super 180 in 1, but obviously it's not. For the Super Nintendo, obviously this is just a bunch of random Super Nintendo games on here, and I mean, that's cool. You know, there's a lot of games actually missing though. You know, there's no fighting games on here such as Street Fighter or Mortal Kombat. I did not see any Mario stuff either. I did skim through the game list, which is kind of weird because if that was the case, you know, why would there be the Legend of Zelda if you're not going to have like Super Metroid and Super Mario? Maybe I overlooked it. Let's just check once again really quickly here. Super Baseball, Super Battle, Super this, Super that. Yeah, like no Super Metroid, no Super Mario. I don't know, that's kind of weird. Let's just check out a game though to make sure that it works. We are going to check out a game that I don't even necessarily like the game. I just absolutely love the soundtrack to the game, and that is Krusty's Super Funhouse. This game is actually just a lot like Lemmings, where you have to have our little rodent friends here, which, you know, it's not itchy and scratchy, but you basically have to have them get up to bark. You got to figure out a way to get them up, like, you know, put a ladder up or something like that, have some sort of traversal mechanism. I've never really super played this game. I honestly would just listen to the soundtrack over and over again. Okay, it's obvious I have to pick up this block or move this block. I'm out of pies. How do you pick up the block? All right, now I'm just getting mad because obviously you knock the block down, they go up on the block, and then they go into the machine that Bart is utilizing. None of the buttons are doing anything. Okay, whatever. We know that the cartridge works. We've seen what's on it. It's a great variety of third-party games, I guess, for the Super Nintendo. Let's move on. All right, next up on the docket, we have the Exigent Game Boy C-Tendo plus 8GB SD card new. Now, obviously what this is a flash cartridge for the Game Boy Color, which I am a huge fan of that system. It is a system that I definitely have a lot of nostalgia for. I remember even playing it like up until high school as well. And there's going to be a lot of controversy about this because essentially what these companies do is, you know, these Chinese companies, they take pre-existing technology that other people have made within the community and then they sell it for cheaper. I want to say I got this for like 55 bucks, but this is basically a built-in Game Boy Color ROM cartridge. It has a, what is this, KY technology? I thought they made lube, but whatever, you know, copyright. You're copyrighting a Nintendo flash cart. That's hilarious. There's a little micro SD card right up in here, which is where you would put additional games if you wanted to do that. But I'm very interested to see if this actually works on a analog pocket, because that's why I bought this. I'm actually going to play this. Out of all the stuff that I got, this is actually going to get the most game time. So let's see if this actually works on the analog pocket, because if it does, I think that's going to be really cool. Alrighty, so let's take a look here. We have the game inserted, the game color inserted into our analog pocket. Shoutouts to MVG for getting me this. He actually ended up with 2 of them and sold me this one at the standard cost of the system. And hey, it looks like it's working. So we have the, I don't know what that means, Game Boy Color, probably European ROMs, Universal, Game Boy, and Game Boy Universal. Let's see. Okay, so it looks like everything is indeed on here. Let's just load and start. Do not turn off. Erase. What am I erasing? I'm not erasing anything. Aladdin. I've never actually played this on the Game Boy Color. The cool thing about the Game Boy Color was it's kind of like the Game Gear, and where there's different versions of games that came out specifically for the Game Boy Color that were not available like on other platforms. Like if you play Aladdin on the Master System, it's completely different than the Genesis version. So this was made in 2000. I'm actually very curious to see how this game plays. It looks great though. Like look at this screen on this thing, dude. This thing is freaking beautiful. Dun, 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 dun. Wow, this is the frame rate's not the greatest in the world, but I will say, you know, this is definitely playable. And like, look at the colors on this. Obviously, I'm just gushing about the analog pocket here, but so this is obviously a version, the Sega Genesis version of Aladdin ported over to the Game Boy Color. Like, I love the Game Boy Color library of games, and I know I'm playing horribly right now, but it's because I'm playing at a weird angle. But yeah, this is cool, and you know, it works good. I wonder how you get back home. That's how you switch things. Is there a way to go home? I don't think there is. Maybe there is, but I mean, that's the thing of it. You didn't get any instructions with this, but very cool. Let's check out just the Game Boy game just to make sure those are all working well as well. But very, very cool stuff here. Alfred Chicken. No, I'm not playing Alfred Chicken. Alien versus Predator. I did not know this game existed, so this should be interesting. 93. Activision. Microsoft owns them now. This is a Microsoft game. Oh wow. This is something. It's not something good, but it's something. Oh, a little glitchy here on this. I wonder if that's the game or the thing glitching. I don't know, because I'm not super familiar with this. It seems like it's just the actual game itself glitching. Yeah, this is terrible, but it does work, so that's pretty cool. Let's check out our final thing. All right, so we've taken a look at a multi-cart, we've taken a look at a flash cart, but this one is actually a reproduction cart. This is Game Cart Ridge, 3-star Ridge console, new. There's other stickers on here too. I'm not gonna try to get them. Made in China, kids and family, new, so that's always good. But like I said, all of these were purchased off Amazon with Prime shipping. This one was $35, and this is a classic game. $5 to $10 off if I recommend you. Legend of Zelda, Ocarina of Time for the Nintendo 64. Now, my version of Ocarina of Time is staying in the box. It's not sealed or anything like that, but this is a complete edition of it. I have a lot of nostalgia for this game, so I wanted to get a box copy of it, the gold edition. But we will take a look at a standard N64 game next to it. And yeah, so this is the Legend of Zelda. I mean, it's got the Nintendo seal of quality on here. Like, this is not trying to act like a reproduction cartridge. This is trying to act like the real deal. It's got weight to it too. That's actually very interesting. I want to open this up, and we're gonna try to open it up. But I mean, just upon first glance, like, if you didn't know any better, dude, like, obviously this is a bit flat compared to this. Is like the EA, you know, the E, because this was a different time frame for the ratings of the game. But actually, looking at the Ocarina cartridge I have, it's actually a rated E for everyone. So, you know, same sort of stuff here. Looking at the back of the cartridge, I mean, it's pretty spot on. Obviously, it's a little bit bigger on the reproduction cartridge than it is on the standard cartridge. We could see here there are actually different screws in here as well. These actually are a little bit different looking than these screws. But let's open this up and compare it to a standard N64 game. All right, so up top we have our Ocarina of Time repro, and on the bottom here we have Gretzky 98. And one of the things that I noticed right off the bat is the heat shield is different. There's different branding on this heat shield than there is on this. This one actually comes off very easy. This one is actually screwed in. So that's a telltale thing right here, is the fact that this does not have screws in it. Obviously, some of these repros are going to have screws in it, which makes it a little more difficult to tell if it's a repro or not. But this thing is actually like super loose. You can look at the actual ROM of the cartridge here. I'm not going to act like I know what all this stuff is. Circuit boards and circuitry. But I'm not going to unscrew this because I really don't want to. I had a tough enough time like making sure I didn't break anything. But right there, that is a telltale sign that this is a reproduction cartridge. But someone who doesn't know any better, like, you know, just upon first glance, I think it actually, you know, could pass as, like, you know, scuff up this label a little bit, you know, put a little few scratches on it or something. I don't think, you know, people would be that privy to it, which, you know, that's one of the main problems about reproduction games and why people don't like them, is the fact that it's hard to tell, you know, especially upon first glance. So, you know, people are out there buying counterfeit reproduction cartridges, fake cartridges for, you know, because I paid 35 bucks for this cartridge. And obviously I just bought it just to buy it for the purpose of this video. This thing doesn't even want to go in there. But yeah, so definitely a little bit different here. Obviously this is a lot cleaner than this one is. There's markings on the cartridge, so you could tell, but it's not necessarily easy to tell. All right, so that's a look at some of the fake Nintendo games that I bought off of Amazon with, like I said, Prime shipping, so you can get them really fast. Let me know in the comment section down below what you think of this. Are you a fan of reproductions and multi-carts and flash carts and stuff like that? Do you prefer to play it on just original hardware with the original games? And if so, you must be very rich. And as always, guys, thank you for checking out this video. If this is your first time here, make sure you hit that subscribe button, like and share the video. And as always, I'll catch you guys on the next one. Later.